Now we have my favorite books. We are going to go backwards because I had these in a certain order. Number 3, The Hobbit. I finished reading this in March, and this solidified my new practice, my new routine. Over the last year in 2021, I started to wake up in the morning and read a little bit of a book. I was doing that because I was in a bad place, I wasn't happy, and I liked the idea of escaping for 15 minutes. I think I even posted about this on the cesspool that is known as Twitter. Hey, instead of just jumping on your phone, spend 15, 20 minutes reading a book and drinking a cup of coffee. And that is extremely helpful to escape the world for a little bit. When everything is such negative news, everything is just bearing down on you. Oh, the world's gonna end in 5 years. Oh, you're all gonna die. The world's on fire. You may not care, you may not believe all of it, but it wears you down. So having 15 minutes of an escape was therapeutic and necessary for me. The Hobbit solidified this behavior for me. Now every morning, well, not every morning, I try to wake up and read 15, sometimes 30 minutes. Right now I'm reading Jurassic Park, which I have never done before, and maybe not the best decision when you're trying to escape. Just hearing about people getting disemboweled isn't really cheery. Well, at least I'm not being attacked by I'm not being attacked by Dilophosaurus rexes. So no matter how stressful Excel might be that day, I'm not being disemboweled. That's a positive. My number 2, the Goosebumps series. Can you tell that I was 100% nostalgia driven this year? It's not good. It's not good to be nostalgia driven. There's new stuff out there that's great. Yet I just needed to escape into a world that was less complicated. I don't think that it is just the fact that I was a child when I was reading Goosebumps before. I don't think that's the case. I think the world was, in fact, a little bit less complicated in the 90s. And reading through these was just a really quick, fun way to reminisce. Thinking back to the 90s and sitting in my backyard reading a book, or sitting in my room reading a book, a Goosebumps book, was really nice. So if you read these before, it's a nice nostalgia trip. If you didn't read them before and you're an adult, I probably would not recommend them, because you would read them in 30 minutes and say, wow, that was, nope, not for me. And my number 1 favorite book of the year is Ken Follett's Monster, Pillars of the Earth. This was recommended to me by mein Vater years and years ago, and I never got around to reading it until this year. And this took me a long time to read, because I only read 10, 20 minutes every morning. And this is over 1,000 pages, I think. It's about 1,000 pages. It took me months to read this. But because it took me so long, I was really able to connect to the characters in it. And they're extremely well written. I don't want to sell Ken Follett short. This is an incredibly well written book. It's an exciting book, which I never thought I would say about a book about building a cathedral. How could that be interesting? But it is fascinating. It is fascinating the way that he covers the cathedral's construction and development, but the characters are the main thing that keep you engaged. It goes over the entire building of before the cathedral even needs to be built. I won't say anything more, but it is 100% worth a read. I did get the sequel to this. I will be reading that eventually, but I need to get through some other short books first, because I did try to do 12 books this year, and I did that. I think I did 14 books, which is good for me because I am a very slow reader. I don't retain stuff. I get distracted. I will read a page and then say, I don't know what I just read, and reread the same page 3 times. So 12 books for me is pretty good. Although I did cheat a little bit because I counted each Goosebumps book as one book as well. Because it is. It's just a child's book. So there you go. That is my favorite media of the year. Favorite YouTube channels, favorite movies, favorite books. Normally, I do include favorite music of the year. I wasn't able to pick any specific albums, though. I wasn't good about listening to anything this year. What I did was pretty much just turn on Pop Punk Essentials, the playlist on Apple Music. There were some times where I actually said, yes! Are you kidding me? This is so good! Because their playlist is really good. I was surprised at some of the songs that came on. So if you have Apple Music and you're a pop punk kid, Pop Punk Essentials playlist, totally worth it. That card is done.